Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Hope you're all staying safe and well. Today is the first day of the supposedly 4-week lockdown throughout November here in the UK. I had planned to go flying. It's November the 5th, beautiful sunny day, gentle breeze, but they shut the flying field down. I've decided to build the Skynetic Shrike. And before we can build it, we've got to get it out of the box. So let's do that right now. So here we are, not much to it. We've got the fuselage. 2 wings, left and right, 1-piece tailplane, a spar, that's for the main wings, and a goodie bag with some clevises, horns. Actually it doesn't have any horns, it's got clevises, push rods, the prop and a pin to lock the wings in, and that's about it. Just printed the manual out. You have to go to their MotionRC's website, download a PDF file and then print it. While I was waiting for this to print out, I read a lot of reviews, and this has got quite a mixed batch of reviews. I'm going to be brutally honest when I do this build. A lot of the comments focus around the servo installation on the ailerons, also the folding prop and the spinner. The manual's pretty straightforward. The pages aren't numbered, but the steps are absolutely clear. The other thing I like is that it actually has high, medium and low rates. A lot of aircraft these days just go high and low. It's also got the flap deflections, although I don't think I'll measure them. I'll either have 50% movement or 100% movement, and that'll be it. No elevator mix with your flaps. Oh yes, and the centre of gravity has been questioned. I noticed there were several comments on the website about whether the centre of gravity is correct in the manual, because in order to achieve it, apparently a lot of people are saying that they have to move the battery way forward in the battery bay to a point where it's not even on the wooden tray where the Velcro is, in order to get this centre of gravity. And they're using the 3S 2200. And that's it. So if we go back to the first step, step 1. In step 1, what we're basically going to do is this. We're going to take that out. This is a little cover. Now we're going to slacken off these grommets on the quick adjusters, and that will allow the push rods just to move backwards and forwards freely without affecting the servo. The easiest way of doing that is to use 1.5mm hex wrench. So they're now freed up. So both these grommets, these black bits, are now loose from the quick connect or quick adjust, and that will allow these rods to slide freely backwards and forwards. But before I go any further, I need to centre them. I'm going to connect these up now and see if they do any movement. Okay, centre them. So they're now centred. I'm only at stage 3 and I've already hit a problem. This clevis was too far in the fuselage to be able to connect it easily to this horn, because the instructions say you push this in and then you connect the clevis to the horn. Do you see it now? That snapped purely because I held the rod with the pliers and I gripped it to twist it, and it snapped. That's how brittle the plastic is. And there's no spares at all provided. That's the horn. You can see it's just snapped off. Not very clever. So I'll have to see if I can replace it. I've replaced the clevis, as you can see. I've screwed it onto the push rod, so it's actually up to here on the clevis, not sticking out any further, so there's plenty of room. Put the band on, and this is the real smart bit. You just slide the whole tail plane until you hear a little clip, and if we're quiet we'll hear it. So let me zoom out. Let's see if we can get this in. Not even a click, that was it, that's it. I'm going to put some foam tack just around the seam. I'm not going to glue it in, I'm just going to put it around the seam, and that'll just hold it a bit better. That's unbelievable, it just slides in. Well, the next thing I've got to do is connect the push rods for the wings. Now obviously it's got flaps and ailerons, but in order to centre them I've got to connect the wing to the plane because it's got this quick connect with pins. So I've centred the servo arms. Now I'm going to connect these push rods. Little disappointment as I was setting this up. Left side LED light, and it was blinking a few times and now it's completely gone out. So I have one spare bit of fuel tubing. Wow. Wow, look how short they are. What you've got, the way these horns work is like any other horn, but the way the clevises connect, they don't have anything to lock them in place. So this piece here doesn't have anything on it, so it's just flexible. Nothing holds it in place. And what you do is you thread fuel tubing over it, and it's got two little barbs. The tubing will raise up and go over the barbs, then it locks it in place. And the tubing won't come back because the barb is holding it in place. That's very clever. Very short push rod, and then it's not even a Z bend, it's just an L bend on the end, and then you use this plastic clip connector which goes over part of the rod that goes through the servo arm and then clips onto the actual push rod itself, therefore locking it all in place. What I will do just for an extra piece of protection is wrap a bit of fibre tape around this part, because if anywhere this is where it will spring open. Just by wrapping a single piece of fibre tape around there, you're going to really lock this in securely. This I've got no trouble with at all because the barbs just hold that piece of fuel tubing in place. So let's get on and do this one. The other one was the flap, this is the aileron. I've come across one of the points that someone made a criticism about on the MotionRC website, and that is that the servo don't line up with the horns, or the horns don't line up with the servo, however you wish to look at it. So you can see the misalignment, and it's quite significant. I mean, that's a good centimetre out, and if I was just to leave that and connect it up, it would be a heck of an angle. Let's try it, let's just show that, see if I can get it popped in there. Yeah, look at the angle of that push rod, that is not right. So we're left with a few options. One option is to see if we can remove the horn, move it over and glue it back in. That should be the best option. Another option is to pull the servo up, shove it back cut the foam out and stick it in. Obviously that's the least favourable option, although I did give it a go and it didn't come out, so I've got to re-glue it back in. And I'm going to see if I can move this